December 9th, 2024 Ohio County Board of Education is called to order at 6 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Dr. Miller, would you care to give us the superintendent's information?
Absolutely. Several things to share with the board today. Beginning with Sensory Friendly Santa will be held Wednesday, December 11th, at the Ohio County Schools Board of Education. Over 20 families have signed up, and the experience is quiet with visual supports and trained staff to help children meet Santa if they haven't been successful in other environments. So we're very grateful to have Santa, our friendly Santa, who may or may not be in this room with us right now. Also, the Dr. Olick Winter Classic was held this past weekend at Wheeling Park High School, and over 50 judges and volunteers assisted, and over 150 students from West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Ohio participated. Wheeling Park High School was awarded first in debate, speech, and the overall suite. Congratulations to those students and coaches. Festival of Sound will be held Friday and Saturday at 7 o'clock and Sunday at 2 o'clock. It's a magical event for our community, and we look forward to seeing many, many students on stage performing. West Liberty University visited Madison Elementary School after finishing their Pen Pal program. Students wrote persuasive, narrative, and informative pieces and sent them to future teachers at West Liberty University. And we're very grateful for them taking the time to work with our students. Tomorrow, we have friends from Monroe County Schools in West Virginia visiting Madison Elementary School for the day to see what makes Madison tick. So we're very excited to have our friends coming and visiting to learn more about our practices and what takes place in our schools. The National Autism and Disabilities Conference was held November 21st at Acalicon, which is Ohio Center for Autism and Low Incidence Disabilities. Dr. Nicole Shepard, Brianna Hutchison, Erica Anderson, and Leah Prescott presented a virtual presentation titled Using Behavioral Skills Training to Teach De-Escalation Routines to Young Children to over 150 attendees nationwide. So congratulations and thank you to our team. Finally, the WVASA will hold their December meeting at Ogilvie this week. Karen Butine will be presenting Effective School Public Relations, Engaging Students and Empowering Communities, and our Young Patriots will be performing Friday morning before their school performance at Wheeling Park High School to superintendents from across the state of West Virginia. And finally, super finally, good luck to our cheerleaders who compete at state Saturday.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Any questions for Dr. Miller on her superintendent's information? Hearing none, let's move on to moments for mission. Molly?
Sure, thank you. First, I'm looking forward to congratulating all of the students involved in our Parade of Champions, as that's going to come up here very shortly in our itinerary tonight. Secondly, Festival of Sound, I encourage everyone to go out and see it. Everyone in the community. It's always just a wonderful event that showcases all of the talents within our music program at Wheeling Park High School, and it's just awesome. So I encourage everyone to come out and take part in that over the few days that it'll be happening up at the high school. Lastly, I want to congratulate Brendan Wack from our Wheeling Patriots football team. I believe he has the school record for rushing touchdowns in a game, rushing yards in a game, rushing yards in a half, average rushing yards in a game, and rushing yards in the season, tying the school record for rushing touchdowns in a season. So I can also attest that he's a great kid. So congrats to him. He's just a really nice kid, good friend of my son's. And speech and debate, congrats on another good tournament. We'd love to hear about all of their successes.
Thank you. Ann?
Just adding to that, I did see the perfect attendance for Ohio County schools, and there were over, I believe, 2,000 students had a perfect attendance. And I hope that we continue to do something to encourage our students that come to school every day, and maybe keep doing something like this to give them an incentive. And again, congratulations to our Parade of Champions. And that's about all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. First of all, I had Brendan Wack on my list too to congratulate. I went to the game against Huntington, as I was watching him, run the ball, he looked like a cheetah. I mean, the guy could run between the tackles, go to the outside, take a swing pass. There wasn't anything that young man couldn't do. And to make it even better is, he is just a Class A kid. He is just a wonderful young man. He would come off on the sidelines and he wouldn't even be breathing heavy. That's kind of happening. I think he broke, all parts rushing records, not only game, but for season. So, only a junior, so previews are coming attractions.
It's all coaching, Mr. Barber.
It's all coaching? Hear that, Don? Okay. I won't disagree with that. Congratulations to the speech and debate team, they continue to rock. That those kids worked so hard. I don't know that the public really truly understands the time and energy that they put in to do their speeches and to do the debate and do all the things that they have to do. They are truly dedicated students to their craft. And God bless them, and we wish them the best of luck for the rest of the year. Also, from a sports, another sports stand aspect, Alexis Bordis, I believe she broke the women's scoring title already, and we're only, 3 games into the season? That young lady, what a basketball player she is. And again, another one, Class A kid, going to Duquesne, gonna do something in medicine. God bless that child, she's doing fantastic, really proud of her. All right, now I have a political statement that I would like to discuss. The responsibility for education in the state of West Virginia rests upon the direction of the local school boards. But our local school boards must also take direction, and our schools must take direction from the legislature. And they pass bills, they pass laws. Those are the things that we are financially given to instruct our children. Of course, the Ohio County Board of Education does policies, and so does the state of West Virginia Board of Education. But the money aspect is imperative. Without money, we cannot properly educate our students. So, over the last couple months, there's been a lot of hubbub concerning school consolidation. And what is happening is school districts are losing funds due to, one, decreasing enrollment, but also due to the Hope Scholarship. The Hope Scholarship is given to a student or a family that wants to educate their children outside of the public school realm. I guess the best way to describe it is that those funds can be used for a multitude of things. Those vouchers, they can go towards their costs of educating them in the private parochial school. They may also spend the money on a laundry list of items, tuition for in-state and out-of-state accredited, non-accredited private school, micro schools, virtual programs, tutors, vendors offering software, technology, school suppliers, summer experiences, horseback riding, and karate and music lessons, athletic fees when playing on public school teams that public school athletes must pay for from their own pockets, passes to museums, and ready for this, Legos. Just about anything that could be construed as educational. We have approximately 4,000, not approximately, we have exactly 4,755 students in Ohio County. 213 students are homeschooled. 283 of those students receive the Hope Scholarship. The Hope Scholarship money comes out of Ohio County Schools budget to the tune of $4,700 a student. When you multiply 283 times 4,700, you get $1,330,100. So we have that kind of money coming out of our budget. It's a shame that we have to pick up the price for that. If anything, that price should come out of the state budget. They should look at that. And I wish the legislature would place more emphasis on the 240,000 students in the public schools in the state of West Virginia. Approximately 90% of the students in West Virginia go to public schools. In order for the public schools to maintain, in order for them to keep from consolidating, in order to keep from reducing staff, losing resources, the legislature needs to take a hard look at this. I am very concerned. And on top of that, I just heard about PEIA and their rate increases, which is another slap in the face of public employees. Please, if you know legislators, talk to them. Express our concerns. I know I will, and I hope that some of you will too. Thank you.
Bernie?
Yep, it was really exciting watching all the fall sports. They're winding up. So congratulations to all the athletes and the fall activities. Last Tuesday, I had the privilege of attending the Parents Advisory Committee here. Good discussion. That was a good meeting. I was glad to be there. And at that meeting, Mr. Jordan invited me down to Ritchie School just to take a tour. I'd been there over the summer, but I got the tour when the students were there. And I have to tell you, I was, as every time I've entered a school, just amazed at everything they had. So great job down at Ritchie, and just, you know, it gives me a new appreciation for exactly what our schools are doing. So great experience. So that's it.
Thank you, Bernie. The only addition I have is a congratulations to Caitlin Ortiz and Jamison Maynard for being accepted to the Naval Academy, and a big thanks to Senator Capito for putting their names in for that prestigious. All right, Parade of Champions, Dr. Miller.
Yes, we are very happy to have students here and people that are here with us today to share the special things that are taking place in our schools. So we're gonna begin with Ms. Katie Red.
Julie, use the mic. Julie.
Yes.
Okay, I will use this. Alright. Can you hear me? Alright. I'm Katie Red. I'm the theater director at Wheeling Park High School. I'm also, I was looking at all my titles. I'm also the thespian troupe director at Wheeling Park High School, the park players advisor. And with me, I have Julie Schultz. She is my associate theater director. Not here is Dr. Michael Romick. He is the head of the English department. He is also an associate theater director because of course I cannot do this alone. And they're also associate thespian troupe directors with me as well now, so that we could spread the love of theater through our school. So something new that we did this year is we went to the West Virginia Theater Association Winter Festival at West Virginia Wesleyan College in Buchanan, West Virginia. We took the members of my theater arts class. We went with a small group. It was myself, it was Mrs. Schultz, it was Dr. Romick, and we brought with us Matt Cox, Mo Smith, Wilkie Pavlik. We also brought Grace Mall, Sydney Wilson, Kenzie Watson, and Lizzie Ledbetter. So we all went down together. We spent our time in theater class preparing for this, as well as preparing for Class Act, which is at the end of this semester. And we went down there. We attended workshops and classes. We went to auditioning classes, stage makeup, film classes, Shakespeare, performing Shakespeare, which was brought to us by the Rustic Mechanicals. We went to workshops on gestures, radically welcoming spaces, and I think our favorite was clown school, right? So you can always stop some of them afterwards and you can find all about Clown Geek.
It wasn't providing any instruction on that, was it?
We also got clown noses. Oh, it was fun. So we learned a lot. These workshops were brought to us by professors from Marshall, from WVU, from the Rustic Mechanicals, from Shepherd University, We had students from West Liberty University doing some of the workshops. We had professors from West Liberty University doing the workshops with us. It was also attended by adjudicators who gave us feedback on what we did, which included professional actresses, all right, as well as some head theater department professors who were tough, fair, and very informational. We learned a ton. And we also had a ton of fun. But not only did we go there to learn, but we also went there to compete.
Okay, so at this event, there were 8 high schools. And there were also 2 community theater groups that were composed of high school students. With over 40 students competing in the monologue and slam competitions, there were 4 awards given. So they gave distinguished and outstanding. Out of those 4 awards, our students received 2. We had honorable mention for Grace Mall for the monologue Cicadas, and for Mo Smith for the monologue Stargirl. In addition, and I'm going to let Mo talk for a moment, what you see before you are her entrance that she had into the props competition, and she received not 1 but 2 awards at this conference for distinguished. Again, there were distinguished
Outstanding.
and outstanding.
For the properties, there were only 2.
There were only 2.
And outstanding.
As you can see, it's on this lovely stand. Whenever we got to Buchanan, they told us, they said, great, it's marionette, but it has to be freestanding. So that was a whole other challenge to deal with. So I'm gonna let Mo talk a little bit about the projects.
I wasn't prepped I was gonna do this. So I got an award for prop concept and making it, and then I also got one for costume concept. They're both for the stage show Into the Woods. The costume concept is Cinderella's gown and original and her bag she wears. And then the cow is Milky Way, and it's a accordion marionette, so you hold it from 2 ankles, and then the ribs essentially move how the cow really
Great job. I have to say, whenever this judging was going on, I actually happened to be in the room at the time because they needed somebody to be the official timekeeper for the event. And Mo got to go first. And I told her afterwards, I said, she set the bar so high on her presentation on both of these items that nobody was going to be able to touch her as far as the presentation went, because there was so much time and effort. If you would have walked through the halls of the high school, you would have saw her working on this in her higher level art classes in Mr. Schultz's art classroom. So it's just so amazing, like the things that they've been able to come up with. In addition, we had 4 students that participated in the unified auditions. Unified auditions, they had professors and department heads from these various colleges, and they actually auditioned in front of them for the possibility of being able to be eligible for scholarships. So those students who took part in the auditions were Sydney Wilson, Wilkie Pavlik, Mackenzie Watson, and Grace Mall. As we said, there were professors from WVU, Marshall, West Virginia Wesleyan, West Liberty, and Shepherd University. They are now awaiting scholarship offers, so it could be within the next few weeks that we're going to be hearing back. In addition, if you would like to see some of these monologue slams that they did, whenever we have Class Act on December the 19th, you will be able to actually see some of these featured pieces that were performed at this conference. The items that we have in front of you, the distinguished entries, will go on to the Southeastern Theater Conference in Baltimore, Maryland in March, which we will be attending as well. So it's very exciting things that we have going on in our theater department.
That presentation will be in the theater and open to the public. How's that gonna work?
6 p.m. December 19th. It is free admission. It is called a Class Act. It's my theater arts class. We always do it at the end of the first semester. And so Stargirl and Cicadas will be performed there, as well as a variety of other performances, 10-minute plays and songs, and a couple of dances. I got some of the tap dances, right? So we've got posters all over school and online. If anybody is interested in coming to see it, it's free. It's our Christmas gift to you.
Yes, and it's on that final day of school for the students, so it's a great way to kick off our holiday break, is to feature some of our students.
Terrific.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Hey, Loki, you wanna help me with Milky Way?
She better beef up.
Thank you. Thanks for coming and sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll put them in front of the.
What a wonderful night we get to see arts and that piece, as well as now we're gonna turn it over to, athletic excellence.
Yes, definitely in soccer this year we had athletic excellence. We are blessed, and I'm sure this is the first time in the history of school, I can't imagine this has happened before, where not only do we have the player of the year on the men's side, we had the player of the year on the women's side, and we had the coach of the year on the men's side. So we're gonna recognize all three of those today, and I'm gonna start with Julia Dunaway, if she would come on up. She doesn't want to be talking, so I have to get used to it. But I think what is so exceptional, so early in the season, I was lucky enough that I probably saw every home game. I know her father and her mother. I've watched her since she was a little girl. And you could see that she was going to have a good year. I don't know if she thought, and if any of us thought, it would turn into the player of the year. And I think what is so exceptional about this young lady is she's coming off an ACL reconstructive surgery. And I don't know if that has ever happened, right? At the professional level down, I just don't know if someone comes off of that surgery and then is considered the best at their sport in the state of West Virginia. And so congratulations. You had to fight a lot. And I think that says something about her determination and her grit and what she's made of. We're lucky that she's with us, obviously, as a soccer player. We're more blessed that she's walking the halls of our school because she's a top-notch student, too. And so we're lucky to have her as both a soccer player and as an academic person. And she's exactly what you want in a student athlete. So Julia Dunaway, thank you so much. West Virginia player of the year.
While you're standing there, I'll make a comment. I've known Julia since she was a little girl. Great kid, great player. Sorry, I cried everything this stage of my life. But when she was a little girl, she would play with my son sometimes on his travel team, local game team, and she was just so tough as a kid. She was always such a great player. I mean, she was one of the only girls who would get pulled in to go play a tournament with the boys when they were little, and she kept up perfectly well. I used to tease her and my son and their friend Samuel that they were like Harry, Ron, and Hermione from the Harry Potters. They went through elementary school together. So great kid and great soccer player. Congratulations.
I have a question. How much influence did your dad have? A lot?
He probably helped that
He's one of my students. He's a great guy.
Well, definitely he's good at rehab, right?
Yeah.
That's his job, running around. And she's the fastest person in the family, too. That's why she could run around with those boys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
I'd now like to introduce our Coach of the Year, and Mario Julian, and I'll give him an opportunity to talk about our Men's Player of the Year, Trez McLeod. And these two guys have been, I think when you go to the boys' game, you hear Mario and Trez. Mario's been here a very long time. It seems like Trez has been here for a very long time. I'm like, opposing coaches would get off the bus and say, how long has the McLeod been? It really did feel good because he was an instant hit. And, you know, I know there's a lot of ups and downs in athletics. This is your up, and you're moving on, and I know Julia will be moving on. Mario's coached a lot of good kids. I've seen a lot of good kids. I don't know soccer like the rest of the soccer community in Wheeling, but you know a special kid when you see it. And it was early that you saw how good Trez could be. So I'll let Mario come up and talk about him, Trez. And Mario, what a great job this year, obviously being recognized as the West Virginia Coach of the Year. Congratulations.
Well, I'd like to thank for the opportunity to speak in front of y'all. It's, you know, coaching is very, very challenging at times, and to have the great team and the players that we have at Wheeling Park does make it a lot easier. To be honored with the Coach of the Year, it doesn't happen because I think you're just the best X's and O guy. I think a lot of it happens because your administration's good. You know, we run a good program where, you know, we play competitive teams, and I think our boys are very respectful on the field. I think if your team's a bunch of jerks out there, you know, the coach isn't gonna be standing in front of you like today saying thanks for the support that I get for Coach of the Year. So I don't want to speak much about myself because my goal has always been at Wheeling Park to win a state championship, and we had an amazing team this year, and we've had one a lot in my career, and you know, we also had the best player that the school's ever had at Wheeling Park. You know, I've been here for most of the years, 24 seasons complete. I think the program's only been around for a little bit over 30. And, you know, Trez has won the State Player of the Year for the second time. That's only happened once in my 24 years. I don't know what's happened quite before it. I also know that now he's the leading goal scorer at Wheeling Park with 116 goals. The record was 92, so he, in my opinion, shattered it. I always used to hang out on Ricky Meredith, you know, and he played with Kenny Zinski, and I was in college at Wheeling Jesuit when Kenny was at Wheeling Park, and I knew how good he was because he practiced with us. You can't do that now. You come to college and practice with us, and he was better than any of us on the college team. So I knew that he was really good. But Rick would always say, well, he only did it in 3 years, broke the record. Well, we added up. Trez, his sophomore, junior, and senior year scored over 90 goals. He had beaten his record over a 3-year period as well. So to me, I think, you know, recognizing him and just how good he was as a player, he's the best, you know. So that's where I'm at with that situation. But he is so much better than a soccer player. He is a perfect, coachable teammate. I mean, he never yells at his team. He's better than everybody, and I mean, I've been around a lot of good players, coaching them and playing it. Usually the best players yell at their teammates when they can't make simple passes or do what they're doing because their mind just thinks, you know, faster than everybody else. But in 4 years, he's never yelled at one of his players, like, get me the ball, or that's a terrible pass. And I think, you know, I can't say that for anybody else that I've coached in his position. And to me, that just goes a long way with, you know, where Trez is as a player. I think his parents raised him perfectly, because if your parents don't instill that in you, I'm not sure the kid would do that on the field, okay? So, before I give the mic over, you know, this season was tremendous. We finished the regular season ranked #1 in the state, and we had the strength of schedule the hardest in the state. Well, we went to Pittsburgh, and we've been doing it the last couple of years, and 2 years ago we went up, we played Pine Ridgeland, 6A school, huge, way bigger than Wheeling Park, and we beat them 3-0 and we whooped them. And they played Franklin Regional, who won the state championship in 2021. They're about the same size as us, and we beat them as well. So I said, let's go back. Well, their coach calls me and says, if you come back, I got 2 good games for you. And I was waiting to hear what he said. Well, the first one was North Allegheny, the largest school in the state of Pennsylvania, with 4,000. I think it was like 3,800 students just in their high school. And then the second one was Seneca Valley, who's the second largest one in Pittsburgh, and they just won the state championship in 2022. So I was like, okay, I know we're good, but not only were we good, Tress was the best player there. He had scored 4 goals in the 2 games, okay? And, I don't share every detail that coaches talk to me or referees talk to me, but they just could not believe that Wheeling, West Virginia, or the state of West Virginia had a player at that level. So it was really exciting. But when we got back, Coach Stock sent me an email, and this is the first time in 24 years that we actually got a positive email from another coach. You usually get one that kids misbehave on the field. What are you teaching these guys? But you get, some of you may know him because his family grew up and they're from Wheeling, but his name was John Roman, okay? And he's a little older, and he's been playing or coaching soccer for over 45 years. He's the current assistant coach at Seneca Valley High School, located in Western PA. When he looked at their schedule the past week and tournament, Wheeling Park caught his eye. His entire family is from Wheeling, and his dad is a 1960 graduate from Wheeling Park. So he reached out in an email. He's never reached out in an email like this before, but after you read it, you'll think it was worth his time. He said Saturday's game was a great game, hard-fought battle with tons of skilled and physical players. As the game progressed, the competitiveness grew, the physical play grew, and the skill of these two teams blew him away. In the middle of the second half, with the score tied, there was an incident which is the reason for this email. 2 players, one from each team, were going for the ball, and a huge collision happened near midfield. Our player got there a half step late, so he admitted there. But anyways, both kids were down for what seemed like several minutes. Eventually, the Wheeling Park young man left the field on his own accord. Their player remained down for 7 more minutes. As we finally got our player to his feet and helped him off the field, something extraordinary happened. Every player from Wheeling Park either fist bumped and said, "Hang in there, hope you're okay." He said it was something that displayed sportsmanship and class to the highest degree. He said this is just not normal behavior. It's something that is instilled in them from the administration and the coaching staff. Words cannot express how impressed and blown away our coaches, players, and fans were. He continued, "We live in a world with lots of negativity. What I witnessed this past weekend was something great, positive, and kind, and worthy of an email. I wish your program continued success, and I know we will be rooting for you, Coach Rum." And he finished saying this, "I will leave you one more quote. Man, did you see those kids come up to me and fist bump Sammy? That was cool. We gotta do that." So, I just wanted to know, that's what kind of kids that we have, and Coach Stock, and the support from all of you guys is why Wheeling Park Boys Soccer is where it is. And I think stuff like this is why I was named Coach of the Year, because of the way the kids behave and act when they travel and when they play. And, I want to give the mic to Trez, because I think, some of you probably know, but he should tell you, playing Division I college soccer, and I think that's awesome.
Alright, hi, I'm Trez McLeod, and I want to thank the board office for the recognition you guys gave me all through my past years, and I gotta thank my mom, my beautiful mom over there, for everything she's done, because they took us in when we were super young, and ever since I was little, they believed in me and my brother, and to this day, they've just done so much for me, and I gotta thank my coach, because ever since I was in 8th grade, he just always believed in me and told every coach that I was going to be the next number 9, and that's Coleman Meredith, and I look up to him till this day. Still, he's like my brother, and he just always believed in me, and I'm just lucky to have a coach like you, Coach. And for you to get Coach of the Year, that was just a special moment for me too. And us first standing out there with our awards and getting pictures together, and to be 2-time West Virginia Player of the Year, I mean, it's everything I could ask for. I'm just lucky and I'm blessed, and I'm thankful to be here and to be able to do what I've done. Thank you guys.
I'll add a comment just because my son played for Mario this year and a previous year and was a teammate of Trez's, and I can second everything that's been said. Mario's a great coach. The boys had an incredible season. We really thought we were going to get that championship this year, but they fought hard and played hard and had a great year. And Trez is truly a special player, very talented, deserves all the accolades, and he's a great teammate. So congrats.
Congrats. All right, Dr. Miller, personnel.
That was so fun.
That's great.
That was so fun.
We should stop while we're ahead.
We're so fortunate to have these things take place in our county, so.
Good job, kiddo.
Thank you, Ms. Dunaway.
Proud of you.
Thank you, Mr. McLeod.
Thank you. See you later.
Congratulations.
Congrats, coach.
Exhausted. Okay, personnel. Okay. Kristen McCon is being recommended for a position as a 200-day countywide supervisory aide paraprofessional assigned to Woodstown Elementary School effective December 10th. All other personnel as presented.
Any questions for Dr. Miller on the personnel issues? Hearing none, they have a motion to accept their recommendations as presented.
So moved.
I got a first and a second in there. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Mr. Jones, report follow-up actions on school safety.
Yes, I handed you a piece of paper, pricing for the metal detectors from Lowe's. So just hoping to have some input of what you guys think before I order them.
What's the recommendation?
I think 2 is the sweet spot. And then if we like them, I guess we could always add next year, but 2 would give us 2 all the time at Wheeling Park, and the ability, if we want to move one to a middle school or an elementary school or to an event, we could always keep a set at Wheeling Park. That's just where I am.
So you think you could get the 2 and then ask for that continued price discount if we buy 2 more?
I could ask, yeah.
So it's 2, that means a set, so 2 sets of 4 total of the
Yes,
stands.
2 stands are 1 set, yes.
Okay, so $48,438.
Yes.
Any questions for Mr. Jones as it relates to the metal detectors? Were there any other vendors you had reached out to, Rick?
Only ones that I've seen. I mean, we did have a meeting with one other, yes.
Mhm.
I don't remember where they're out of. Old Rock. Just ultra expensive and not movable. So I like the fact that we can move them.
Dr. Miller, do you have a recommendation for the board on these?
I recommend supporting Mr. Jones's recommendation of purchasing 2 sets of metal detectors that could be utilized at Wheeling Park High School with the ability to move it to schools as needed.
Okay, thank you. So that's the recommendation of the motion to accept Dr. Miller's recommendation to buy 2 metal detectors, which are 2 sets for a total price of $48,438.
So moved.
I got a first, second?
Second.
Got a first and a second. All those in favor,
Can we
please.
have, is there a discussion?
Oh,
I just had-
discussion,
yeah,
yeah.
I thought I was kind
Yeah.
of waiting. I just had a question. Is there any, funds out there, grants, et cetera, that would cover this sort of thing for school safety?
I'm sure there are.
I
We do get some, we get reimbursement from the state under safety. We do get some back.
Okay,
from the
so
state.
for this, would we expect to get some amount of reimbursement? I'm just curious about what our all-in cost.
2 years.
Is that
Kind
for
of
2
like the
years?
bus thing.
So we have to put in for that reimbursement from the state?
They grab it from the grant, they code it and we.
Okay. Do you have much of what percentage do you know?
I believe cybersecurity is 80.
I'm sorry, Keith,
80.
80%? Oh, fantastic, okay.
Great.
Good.
Anything else?
No, that's all.
All right, so the first and second, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. I'll get those ordered tomorrow.
All right, consent agenda, let's pull off paid bills, 7.3, and the budget supplements.
Yes, please.
7.2. Molly, you wanna kick us off with the budget supplements?
Sure, I just wanted to talk through, I like to kind of have a public conversation about what some of these are, where we get the money, so that our public knows where it's coming from and where it's going. So the, IDEA pre-K and then the IDEA or IDEA, what's the source of that funding?
Federal government.
Federal government?
Yes.
Okay. And it's for what? Just, I see the reason for salaries, but how do we end up getting?
IDEA that's Mrs. Stout, basically, that's her program.
What does that stand for?
So,
I know we see this.
Individual disabilities education.
So disabilities, okay, okay, thank
I
you.
was told I must use the microphone at all times.
Yes, that's me.
I've never been told I'm quiet, so this is new. I usually only karaoke.
Okay. I wanna see that.
Knock yourself
You don't wanna
out.
see that. You don't wanna see it. So the salaries on here and health insurance all that go towards our special educators?
Yes.
Okay.
The IDEA is a true up, I mean, Miss Stubbs' IDEA grant is somewhere in the neighborhood of 1.5, 1.6 million. We have to put in when we do our budget, we have to put in an estimate, so
Okay.
this is adding to the estimate.
Okay. Thank you. And then the country roads grant, $6,000 for supplies.
Those were grants won by, 3 teachers, one at Bethlehem, one at Madison, one at, West Liberty for $2,000 each from the state.
Okay. And then the William Park High School Mastery-Based Learning Grant, what's the source of that?
That is a state grant that, Miss Taylor receives to use. I'm not exactly positive, but she would have to re-educate them on what that's for.
Or what they use it for?
Yeah, and that's for her.
Okay, those are my only questions on the budget supplements.
Any other questions on the budget supplements? Hearing none, moving the paid bills. Bernie, do you have anything on the paid bills today?
Yeah, and this is for my information, check number 222125, for Wheeling Hospital for $5,000 for athletic training. What's our arrangement there?
It's I think it's a monthly, right? Oh, go ahead,
It's all, I was just gonna say, we have 2 athletic trainers in contract with Wheeling Hospital, they pay half, we pay half, I
Okay.
believe.
Okay.
That's accurate. Yeah.
By law, we have to have those at athletic events.
Okay.
Some,
No, I'll put it over.
So it's $10,000 a month total cost. 5 from them, 5 from us, correct?
Yeah, we only see the 5 one.
Okay. I think that's all I have, thank you.
Molly?
Sure, check 222074, Harrison County Board of Education, $3,305, mid-year transfers.
Yeah, so when a student leaves Ohio County and goes to another school system, we've always had the ability to invoice other school systems. There's always been an understanding within all of the boards of ed that we don't do that because it pretty well washes in the end by the time they bill us, we bill them. Since the charter schools have come into play, they're not playing by the same nice rules that everybody else is. They're charging. Since that's the case, Harrison County decided to as well. So this is from last year, FY24. Students that left our county and went to Harrison County, that is figured out by the amount of state aid that they should have received by the number of days they actually taught the student. So that is our cost.
So students who were part of Ohio County Schools but moved to Harrison County.
Correct.
We are,
Attended Harrison County.
Harrison County decided to bill us for that.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that was always a possibility, but I don't remember really ever seeing.
It's never happened.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you've seen charter schools now come across big bills, but you've not seen public boards of ed, and Harrison County was the first one to do it.
So how many students is this reflective of?
I think it was like 3.
Yes.
And again, it's very, I mean, it could be 12 days, it could be 180 days. It just depends on when or 175 days, it just depends on when the student leaves.
If I may interject here, Molly, if you don't mind, this is an example of what I was talking about earlier. The school districts are in binds now, and it's no longer feasible for them to function as a school district without having enough support financially. So now this is what the school boards are having to do, and it's a shame, because as Steve said, that the reciprocity issue was before, somebody transferred, okay, that's the way it worked out, it works out. Now, no longer, we can no longer do that. Yeah, I had this discussion with Steve earlier today, and, yeah, it just riles me, I'm sorry, that's it.
Okay, and then check 222085, McKinley Architecture, it's the Wheeling Park roof. So for $72,698, what portion of the total cost is that?
That's somewhere in the neighborhood of, let me see, that's that's probably a quarter of the bill, and it's almost finished.
So of the bill just from McKinley for the design, okay, and then that's not counting the actual roofing cost?
Correct.
So they're doing the design for putting it on the roof?
Correct.
Why were they involved in that? I guess I feel like it's just replacing a roof.
The Wheeling Park High School's roof is
It's complicated.
correct.
But isn't that where
But
you,
we've had that
Yeah,
conversation.
weren't you able to
Yes.
bring some money from Charleston to help pay for that project?
We did.
That total project's, it's $1 million, isn't it?
A little bit north.
It's $1 million that we received from the school building authority.
Yeah.
It's gonna be at least double.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to replace that roof is gonna be $2 million.
And that's not even gonna be the whole roof.
Sections of.
And yeah, so we're at
It's not gonna.
Very good. Okay, those are my only questions on the paid bills, thank you.
Andy, did you have any questions on paid bills?
No, sir.
Yeah? I just have a few, Steve. I see the, check 222066, SBA for $814,000. Did you get all the money asked for?
Yes, we've got, roughly $1 million left to, request, and that will be the last of the bond work.
So it's finally winding down,
It's finally winding down.
and then that'll eliminate the need for the clerk of the works as well.
It will. Although I don't know if he's gonna have to stay on for
Most likely.
the Wheeling Park High School. Yeah, the roof, I don't know, since the SBA always requires a clerk of the works, so we'll have to double check that one.
Okay. Well, thank you. With the credit. It's trickier than what you might think to have that kind of reimbursement. Steve bats 1,000 on being able to get that information back. We take him for granted and his good work, because just as Andy was saying, it's hard to function in many of the counties in our state. We could do it well because Steve and his team are very, very well equipped and very well organized to get the information back to SBA so that we get the reimbursements that we do, so thank you.
Thank you.
One other one, the Crest Good Manufacturing, check 222069, maintenance, LK coolers for what?
They're water fountains,
Oh.
for Steam Rod and Wheeling Park High School.
Alright, so we buy those?
Correct. Yeah, just like the ones out.
Yeah, we buy it throughout policy 6200, wants you to continue to work on replacing all water fountains throughout your facility and have them be filtered water fountain stations. So we continually work as those that don't work or have problems with, and then work through getting them replaced.
So they're filtered, and do they have places you put water bottles and?
Some of them do, and some of them don't, depending on the school and what they already have and where they're located.
Okay. I have nothing else, and so, items for the consent agenda is items 7.1 through 7.4. I have a motion accepting the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
First, may I have a second?
Second.
I got a second. All those any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
There are no delegations tonight. We're gonna kick off with board member comments. Molly, wanna kick us off?
Nothing further, thank you.
Ann?
Nothing further.
Andy?
Nothing further, thank you.
Bernie?
No, sir, that's all.
All right, we're winding this thing up. The future meetings are Monday, December 23rd at 8 a.m. Here at the board office, Christmas Eve. So then Monday, January 13th, regular meeting, 6 p.m. board office. Monday, January 27th, 2025, regular meeting at the board office. There being no further business before